Chicago's hidden crisis, 500 empty homes. In a city of breathtaking skyscrapers and proud neighborhoods, a quiet crisis is hiding in plain sight. It's a story about houses without people and people without houses. While tens of thousands of Chicagoans are on a desperate wait list for a safe place to call home, the Chicago Housing Authority, or CHA, is letting hundreds of its own properties sit empty. This isn't just a number, it's a story of a hidden crisis creating a nightmare for communities. It's a paradox that can fuel crime, crush the dreams of families in need, and begs the question, in a city without a housing emergency, how can hundreds of homes be left to rot? Section 1. The problem and the stakes. The scale of this problem is staggering. Let's be clear about what we're facing. Hundreds of homes owned by the CHA, the very agency tasked with providing affordable housing, and they're vacant. Some have been vacant for many years, becoming monuments to inaction. At the same time, the demand for affordable housing has never been more intense. The CHA's wait lists are notoriously long, with some estimates for specific properties stretching over 25 years. This isn't happening in a vacuum. Chicago is in the grips of a severe affordable housing shortage. Recent data for the Illinois shows that there are 36 affordable and available rental homes for every 100 extremely low-income families. And the city of Chicago has an estimated deficit of over 126,000 affordable units, a gap that leaves thousands of families in precarious situations. So, when hundreds of homes are kept off the market, it's not just a statistic. It is a direct and devastating loss. For families experiencing homelessness, for those trapped in dangerously overcrowded apartments, and for new arrivals seeking stability. These aren't just buildings, they are hundreds of missed opportunities. There are hundreds of chances for a family to have finally a key, a door to lock, and a place to call home. The stakes aren't just about property, they're about people, safety, and the very fabric of our communities. Section 2, the human impact. To understand what this really means, you have to look past the numbers and into the lives of the people waiting. Imagine a family, let's call them the Jacksons, who represent thousands on the wait list. A mother, a father, and 3 kids sharing a 2-bedroom apartment with relatives. Every night is a puzzle of where everyone will sleep. The kids do their homework on the floor because there's no space for a desk. They hear the city through the paper-thin walls, praying for the day that they can have a small yard to play in, or just a quiet room of their own. They applied to the CHA years ago, filled with hope. They were added to a list so long it feels more like a lottery than a line. Every so often, they check their status, a small ritual of hope against fading odds. They dream of a simple home, a modest brick bungalow or a 2-flat with a little patch of grass, a place where their kids can be safe, a place that feels permanent. Now, picture one of the vacant CHA homes, a 2-story brick house on a quiet street. The windows are boarded with plywood. The paint is peeling and the weeds have conquered the front yard. Inside, dust covers every surface. The house has been empty for 5 years. It has good bones, a solid foundation, and it could be the Jacksons' family dream home. And it just sits few miles from their overcrowded apartment, a symbol of a promise broken. This is the human cost of a bureaucratic failure. The abstract number of vacant units translates into years of uncertainty and instability for real families. While children dream of a bedroom, their future homes are being hollowed out by neglect. It's a quiet tragedy playing out across the city where the dream of a stable home is locked away behind a door no one will open. Section 3. The community nightmare. The damage doesn't stop with the families on the wait list. These empty houses cast a long shadow over the neighborhoods they occupy. A single vacant property can change their entire dynamic of a block. When a house is left empty for years, it doesn't just sit there, it decays. It becomes a beacon for problems. Residents living next to these ghost homes tell a familiar story. The properties become magnets for crime, vandalism, and illegal dumping. An empty house is an invitation for trouble, a place where illegal activities can take place, hidden from view. Research shows that high concentrations of vacant property can lead to lower property values and increased crime. This decay sends a powerful message to the community that the neighborhood is being forgotten. It erodes morale and creates a climate of fear. It also hits residents in their wallets. A block with multiple boarded-up homes sees its property values plummet, making it nearly impossible for homeowners to build equity or sell for a fair price. This disproportionately harms communities on the south and west sides, on the south and west side areas that have already suffered from decades of disinvestment. The failure to maintain and occupy these homes perpetuates a cycle of decline, trapping entire neighborhoods in a state of neglect. For the people who live there, who sweep their sidewalks and tend their gardens, a vacant CHA property is a constant, frustrating reminder of government failure. It's a source of blight they can't control and a threat to safety they work so hard to build. It's a nightmare next door, one that the city itself owns. Section 4. The why, a system in collapse. How does a city in the middle of a housing crisis end up with hundreds of its own property sitting empty? The answer isn't simple, but it points to a system paralyzed by its own bureaucracy. The problem isn't a lack of need, it's a profound lack of action. For years, the CHA has been criticized for its low pace of repairs and re-leasing. The reasons given often revolve around a lack of funding for the extensive repairs many of these homes need after years of neglect. A house that might have needed minor work 5 years ago now requires a top-to-bottom renovation. It costs that balloons with every passing season. High construction costs and lengthy approval processes further complication efforts to bring these homes back to life. But community leaders and even some city officials express deep frustration, suggesting the problems run deeper than just money. They point to a lack of urgency and mismanagement. The CHA has acknowledged the problem and in late 2023 announced a $50 million initiative called Restore Home to rehab more than 175 vacant units and about 40 single-family homes. By mid-2024, the agency reported that a handful of units were complete and occupied, with more in progress. Still, for many, it's a small step against a massive problem. The agency has also been without a permanent CEO since late 2024, with an interim leader in place as of mid-2025, adding to the sense of a ship without a captain. The central irony is that while the CHA lets the existing stock of houses crumble, the city is spending time and resources trying to build new affordable housing from scratch. It's a policy paradox, ignoring the immediate fixable solution right in front of you in favor of a slower, more expensive one down the road. The why is a tangled web of neglect, red tape, and stunning failure to connect the dots between empty houses and desperate families. Section 5. The path forward. So what's the fix? The most obvious answer is also the most urgent. Fix the houses and get them to the people in need. This isn't a radical idea. It's a common sense solution to a crisis. Community organizations are already trying to lead the way. For example, an initiative called Reclaiming Chicago, led by groups like the Hope Center Foundation and the Cook County Land Bank Authority, is working to transform vacant lots into affordable homes. They have already completed dozens of homes with plans for many more, proving that progress is possible when there is a will to cut through the red tape and work directly with communities. The pressure is mounting on city officials to act with the same urgency. Alderpersons representing the affected neighborhoods have been vocal in their frustration, demanding accountability and clear timeline from the CHA. The Restore Home initiative is a direct result of this public pressure. But is it enough? Can a bureaucracy that allowed this problem to fester for years truly reform itself overnight? The path forward requires more than just a new program. It requires a fundamental shift in mindset. It means treating every vacant unit as a public emergency. It means empowering local organizations that have proven they can get the job done. And it means holding our public agencies accountable for their most basic mission, to house the people that they serve. This is not just a Chicago story. It's a story about public responsibility and the human right to housing. If you believe that no home should sit empty while a family is without shelter, the first step is to raise awareness. Share this video. The more people who know about this hidden crisis, the more pressure there will be for real, lasting change. So what's the real roadblock here? Is it funding, management, or political will? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to see more investigations like this, make sure to like and subscribe. In conclusion, the story of Chicago's hundreds of empty homes is a story of promise unfulfilled. It is the story of a city at war with itself, a city that declares a housing crisis while letting its own lifeboats sit empty on the shore. The boarded-up windows on the south and west side reflect more than just urban decay. They reflect a broken system. For those thousands of families still waiting, for the neighborhoods struggling to stay safe, and for a city that aspires to be a place of opportunity for all, the solution must be clear. Open the doors, repair the homes, give the keys to families who have been waiting. because a house is just a building, but a home is a beginning. And in Chicago, hundreds of new beginnings are locked up, waiting for somebody to finally turn the key.